is normal.
No, that's right, Caitlin. Look, there is, number one, it's not shocking that Donald Trump will never spend a dollar of his own money that he doesn't have to. But what is shocking is the degree to which groups who are not within his immediate orbit are going along with it. And it speaks to the hold that he still has on aspects of the party. Now, my understanding is that this was a committee vote within the RNC and that there was more pushback than you might have expected. There were some people who did not want to go along with this. We'll see if that number increases over time. But this is really unheard of. It's not unusual for a political committee to pay for legal fees related to a sitting executive. So we saw that with governors, over the course of the last many, many years. We saw this with President Trump when he was president. He no longer is, and this has nothing to do with his presidency. So this is pretty extraordinary.
I mean, if you're Ron DeSantis or Chris Christie or any of these potential 2024 candidates, what do you think? You're like, hey, RNC, what are you doing here? You are helping politically someone who we may be running against for the nomination.
Look, this has been the concern the whole time about the fact that a lot of the party apparatus has ties to the former president. Again, not totally unusual when you have an outgoing president. And the former president, former nominee of any party is the leader until there's another nominee. But you don't normally see something like this. And you don't normally have so many fears within a party, John, and you know this, that the former president, I have always been very skeptical of the idea that he was ever serious about forming his own party, no matter what he said at the time. He let it go a few days later as he was leaving office that he might go form a third party. He doesn't really have the organization or the ability to do that. But what he does have the ability to do is depress turnout among Republicans. And we saw that in the two Georgia Senate runoffs in January. And that's what party officials are afraid of. So essentially, he's got his boot on their neck still. And they're not. And there are members of the party who like him. But at the end of the day, this is just a highly unusual situation.